So we are inside the Blender vRTI file, which you can find on Canvas. Essentially what we have here is a camera facing down, that's this object here. We have a light which is attached to a center point, which is just plane axes. The plane axes are set to rotate, and the light is parented to these so it moves with it. So essentially every single frame, the light moves around as you would normally do when you're recording an RTI. So all we have to do is open up a mesh. So I'm just going to use one that we've got preset already. Leave it as it is, just import it. It'll probably end up in the wrong place, in the wrong orientation, so you might just have to change that slightly. So as we can see, it's ended up over here. So we just need to set the origin to geometry, so it's in the center. Come over here, and let's rotate it so that it's in the correct orientation. We'll just move it so it's in the correct place as well, and scale because it's too big. So that should be about right. I don't want any of the color information, although I could leave it on, but for now let's turn it off. So if I go to material, I can just change from the base color to a RGB, and then it'll be blank. If I want to test that the frame's in the correct place, I press F12, and we should be able to see that it makes the image correctly. I'm not too worried about the entire frame now, so let's just cancel this out. So now I need to render the entire animation, so I'll go to Output, and I'm going to change this to a folder that I actually want to use. So let's change it to Tarnum 311 and accept. And now every single frame will get exported to there. So if I press Ctrl and F12, it should now render all of the animation frames. Alright, so now that's all rendered out, we can go to the folder that we created the pictures in, and we should be able to see that we have essentially the same as we would have for a normal RTI photo shoot. So now if I open Relight, and let's just create a new one, go to the desktop, select folder, and you should see we have the images in. Create a new sphere, so 1, 2, 3. And then if we go to edit, find highlights, we'll go through and you see it finds the highlights just as it did with the regular pictures. And if we go to export RTI, PTM18, RTI, build, let's just put it in the same place. Once that's finished, we can go down here and next open up Tarnum 311, and you can see we have basically a normal RTI. Sometimes it's a bit light, so if we go to diffuse gain and turn that up, then it becomes a bit easier to see. We can zoom in and get pretty good details. So bear in mind that this was rendered at 4096, so if you wanted higher resolution you could always do it higher. So the benefit of this is that there's no shadows being cast by any tripod legs or anything like that. And we've managed to get an entire panel, so this is probably about 4 or 5 meters wide, which you wouldn't ordinarily be able to do with just regular RTI.